All right, so we got Team Liquid, Flash Wolves. It's a huge game for both teams. Flash Wolves wins here. They tie themselves up with Team Liquid. And Team Liquid needs to win this to separate themselves from this. And for a little bit of confidence, I think. It's a pretty standard pick ban. I mean, these are two pretty strong teams. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not a huge fan of Impact on mages. He's played pretty well this tournament, but he just doesn't seem to have that. It's not really in his wheelhouse. I think there's better picks on that. It's nice to see Liz come back out. She seems to be kind of out of the meta right now. This, again, I've said it before. Tons of people say it. I just don't know how Tom gets through so many things. He is so much more dangerous than any of these three champions right here. I mean, just way more dangerous than any of those three champions or these five champions. I mean, Yorick. Like, I understand banning Nico, Rek'Sai. Don't ban Silas. Just let him go. If they want to play Silas, let them play Silas. Banning J4, sure, but not banning Tom just seems ridiculous to me. He's such a good champion, and he just saves people. He wins team fights. He wins skirmishes. He's just such a disturber. He's such a disruptor in these team fights. But, I mean, double lift on Kaisa, Core JJ on Galio. It's a solid comp right there. Smithy's not the best Lee Sin, and he's had a bad tournament too. But, yeah, other than that, just don't know why you don't ban Tom. Like, if you're not going to play him, ban him. Like, and they're not going to play him. So, Conqueror's in. So you lose one-on-one versus him. Big time. TL blue side into that river right there. I'm waiting for someone to do it, to stack up right in that bush and clip these two when they go in there, but it doesn't seem like people are noticing they do it every time they're blue side. Those two run in there with the backup from Jensen. Both going to go leashless. Yep. No heal down here. He can be pretty aggressive in this lane. He does have a cleanse, but really surprised Jensen didn't take cleanse against her, though. And there's a couple situations you see it where, I mean, if he has cleanse, totally different fight. I don't think you need ignite against her. I mean, your kill opportunities against her are going to be few and far between. Unsealed Spellbook Kennen, that gives him so much versatility up here. It's such a good gank lane top. I think they win that 2v2 every time, too. Especially early. Let me go in after that. I mean, he's 3. Smithy was 2. Weird. That's a little bit of nerves right there. Good trade for Hanabi. Kind of slow start. I would have thought Boogie would have been pretty aggressive top there and gone after him. It's pretty safe. You're not going to take a ton of damage, even if Lee Sin's there. I think they win that 2v2 early. Rise just doesn't have the mana pool to fight for very long in that lane, so... Late flash. Nice play by Xmithy. It's not nerves. Like, I keep saying that stuff. Just pushing weird storylines. It's not nerves. It's just who these guys are. I can't even. What number international event is this for Doublelift and Xmithy at this point? And Jensen, and Impact, and Core JJ. It's not nerves. They're not nervous right now. There's just a level of talent that some people don't have, no matter how well they do domestically. But they're not exactly playing the best in the world in NA. So, I mean, it's not like they're stomping, top-tier people all the time. Xmithy's been great in NA, but he's also playing against, the best jungler in NA right now is with him, his only rival, Santorin? It's a much different environment. Like, yeah, he hasn't been playing well in this tournament. And again, it's been a lack of aggression, really. But he's also playing against much, much better junglers than he's been playing all year. But not career-wise. He's played against top-tier junglers plenty of times. So I can't imagine it's nerves. So, yeah, it's a great stat. LCS Spring. 6-1 on Lee Sin and LCS. Cool. Pretty even farm across the board. Zin's up 2 camps, but camp and a half. Just surprised neither of them have been in any of these lanes yet. Rather's 6 now, so that's going to change when he comes back. I can't believe Jensen didn't take cleanse. There's a lot of things to cleanse. Varus ult, Kennen stun, obviously Lissandra ult. You have no chance to do much damage to her. She's always going to get away from those. You didn't have ult anyways. So we can engage right here. Oh, they must have saw Lee. They didn't. If they didn't know Lee was there, they should have just kept going. They win that for sure. Strange build. I want to hear this proto belt nonsense. Why would that be weird for Kennen? It's pretty much a standard build. Just get blown up there. What are you doing? Why would you go... Just don't win that fight. That's not a 1-for-1. You not math? It's 2-for-1. Go for it. Nice. Now it's even. It's a great kick by X-Smithy. What's Core doing here? Oh, got flash ulted. What a kick. Hero kick. Doubling down on what most people do well on Kennen. That's team fight. Oh. Nice. Oh. Dangerous. It's much better for Flash Wolves too, because Varus doesn't have to leave now. He has well, it's down right now, but Doublelift doesn't have teleport to get back to lane. He's got free farm right here. It's a nice play. Ooh. Good target. Good target picking by Rather right there too. Hey, look at that. Tom saving somebody. Someday. Someday, somebody will ban that champion. Someday. You're in trouble. Oh, nice. Definitely didn't need to flash there with your proto belt already done. Not now, though. I mean, he doesn't have a bunch of DPS now. A lost chapter and a tier. Get some aggression going in this game. Well, I can see this. TP coming in. Oof. It's a big cannon ult. They have no idea who's back there right now. They know Varus is top. They're coming in, but as soon as you see Kennen teleporting in here, I mean, I guess you have to fight this because you're gonna get the. You got someone's got to pick up the Rift Herald here, but double teleport coming in, so he's just in a really bad spot here. This is like, I mean, this is a dream for Kennen as soon as he lands. And he still doesn't, I mean, he misses a lot of it, too. He kind of got pushed over here. Even so, Jensen doesn't even get into that fight. And they're not, yeah, they're going to get it. Jensen's going to get it. They're not going to get it. He didn't get anything out of that, though. Yeah, that was terrible. Someone's got to go get this now. Like, Core JJ's already over here. You need to pick that up. Like, it has to be the goal of the fight here. Like, you need to pick that up. Be right next to it. You just got to go pick it up. Fighting over a blue buff. Why? Clear the ward. Like, you think you're going to steal the blue here. Jensen's with you. But, okay, so right there, you saw the Q over the wall, so you know Lissandra's here. You know Boogie's here. You know Hanabi somewhere here. You saw him in the lane down here. So, you don't win this fight. None of you have cleanse. And they're just going to collapse on you over a blue buff. And then you get slowed, you get rooted, you're going to get, someone's going to get ulted. I think Boogie needed to flash there, to be honest with you, but whatever. I mean, it secured the kill. It's just... No, they can't. Right. Right, just don't take the fight. Who cares? It's just random playing. Like, it's people randomly playing. Like, it's very solo queuey. Like, Okay, we're fighting over blue. Okay, whatever. Like it's just there's nothing you can do there. You can't engage on that fight. Like you can't get back in it. You're sacrificing Smithy for a blue buff that you gave right back to Boogie anyways. Yeah, but this isn't the LCS. Slowing games down here is a totally different proposition. These are much better teams than the average team they're running into. They don't have control over this stuff. They have to adjust to what's going on. Which is non-existent from Xmithy. Hmm. Because they can't. They're doing nothing. Like, why is Jensen going top right here? What's the point of this? You already have Lee and Galio up here. Why would you not be pressing this mid lane? The mid lane turret's just sitting there. They're gone. You can't find them. You have no idea where they are. You're safe from this. I mean, you can get away from both of them. It's just what's the point of going top here, or wherever you're going? Push that lane. Right. Free drag, free first tower. Well, they get a top lane turret. I mean, Tom and Varus went mid to stop that, so they lost Drake, lost a kill, lost first turret blood. At least Liquid has a mountain. I mean, it'll help them with Baron if they can get a chance to get on it, but okay, that's a comment people bring up all the time. Like, just do whatever, do something crazy. You know, do something very different. You can't. You can't. You can't just do something very different to a G2 or an SKT or a Team Liquid. They'll smash you. I mean, ask Griffin when they tried to do the Pantheon Talia bot lane nonsense against SKT. They tried it twice. Didn't work out very well. And then watch SKT tried to use something they've never used. No one in Korea used it. The Sona Turek bot lane into IG, but didn't ban Draven, so they found out real quick how well that works out. Like, when you're playing a team that's much better than you almost have to play a more standard version of the League of Legends because you're not going to be able. You cannot individually, skill wise, dictate the pace of the game. You can try some crazy stuff, like if that's what you want to do to surprise them, but at the end of the day, if it's not something that's actually good, if it's just crazy and different, it's not going to win you the game. I mean, there's plenty of situations during this tournament where IG, G2, or SKT has been down early. IG especially, they've been down quite a bit. But if you look at the gold leads, they're not that big. There's times when they're down a bunch of kills, and they're not even the gold lead's only 1,500 gold, and Whereas if they're up that many kills and that much objectives and stuff like that, they're up 3 or 4,000 gold. It's a completely different idea because they're so much more talented than the people they're playing against. And I think people forget about that part of it because they want there to be parity between all 6 of the teams. But unfortunately, for someone like NA, it's not. Just playing crazy stuff or doing weird things isn't going to get them advantages that they can actually use to win a game. Because when you do weird stuff like that, there's a reason why there's a meta. Should you break it sometimes? Of course, you know what I mean? Try different things out. But there's a reason why there's a meta. It's because those things are strong for the most part. And they're strong into many situations. They're strong into a lot of different lanes. And they're very strong late in the game, mid-game, team fights, stuff like that. So when you don't have the talent to pull some of those crazy picks off, then they're not always going to work. And even if they do work, you still have to close the game out. You have to keep that up. And if you're not good at it, there's a lot of times where people try crazy things and they're not that great at it. So when they do get a lead, they don't know how to press the advantage. Their macro isn't good. Like, you can have this crazy early game. If you don't have good macro and take objectives properly, then it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant because they're going to catch up to you. They're going to farm. So I never understand that comment. Like, you can't play standard League of Legends against these teams. Like, yeah, I mean, maybe you can't play direct standard League of Legends, but, I mean, you can play a standard-ish League of Legends. Like, the fundamentals still need to be there. The macro, the vision, the objective taking, the team fighting, the skirmishing, like all those fundamentals of League need to be there. If you don't have those fundamentals, you can do all the crazy things you want, but it doesn't mean you're gonna be able to, use those advantages to anything that's going to help you. So I've never been a big fan of that comment because it's kind of silly. Worlds last year, I think, changed a lot of people's minds. They're like, oh, people are playing whatever they want and they're winning. But a lot of times those are teams who are playing really well at the time. C9's a lot better at it. They practice that stuff. I mean, they're a very different situation. But, I mean, there still has to be some standardization. And there's a reason things are powerful. But, I mean, they obviously, I've talked about this before, teams like Team Liquid, I think, is a great example of it. They don't understand their actual power. Like, they don't understand what's so powerful for the other team either. Their pick ban phases are not great. There's no reason to let Tom through in this. I mean, are you really scared of Hanabi or rather Silas? Is it that dangerous? I mean, it's not. It's just a waste of a ban. I mean, Rek'Sai I can understand for sure. J4 because he's so easy to play and he's such a solid jungler right now. Sure, you want to take that away from an opposing jungler who you don't think is world class maybe, but not banning something like Tom. It's not like Tom's hard to play. I mean, pretty much any support at this tournament can play Tom to a really high level, and he's just so good at what he does. So he's a much more useful ban because he's a comfort pick for a lot of support people. There's a lot of support players. So it's weird to me, It's just like the Galio thing. Like, Galio's a great support, especially in this meta, but like, you have to be really good at Galio and know what you're doing with it. So he's not powerful for everybody, and that comes down to that, not playing standard League of Legends. I think there's the only argument you can have to that is you need to play to your power. A lot of these teams don't play to their power; they play to perceived power. Like, well, this is really good. You know what I mean? But if you don't have the fundamentals and the skill and the macro to back that stuff up, then it's pointless. It's not that powerful. So it's very weird. Very weird comment. You hear a lot of commentators say it though. It's such an odd thing to say. Yeah, but you're not going to do that because Flash Wolves has 3 teleports, so you're not going to get away with that. team fights are going to be rough for them right now. Like, Team Liquid's team fighting situation right now is where? I mean, you have a single target Lee Sin, like, unless you're Clid or something, like, it's so hard to pick targets and make the right plays. Like, Smithy's not Clid or Ning or any of those type of players. So, I mean, for him to be effective in a fight, like, they almost have to make a big mistake. But Rather's ult alone, like, you only have one right there. Right. You just can't fight toe to toe. It's so. Why? So, Impact's down bot with Kennen right now. You know Kennen has teleport. You know Rather has teleport. You have no vision in here. So you're going to clear vision out. Like, Xmithy's going to go top here. You're going to wrap around with Jensen. I believe it's with Jensen. And they wrap around there. Like, you only have vision on Baron. You have no idea where their vision is back here. So they know exactly where you are right now. They know everything about you. You're wrapping around here. You cleared out some of the vision. And then this. There's no reason to be in this position right here. None whatsoever. Like, you know Kennen can join this fight. Tom can get there immediately with Betty because of his ult. So, Doublelift's the only one on your team who can get rid of Lissandra ult. Like, you're just in such a bad position right here. Like, and then bam, you get teleported on. Like, that's a good ult, sure, but you still only have 4 members here. Impact didn't TP in here. Like, if you're going to take this fight, if you're stuck in this, he's got to TP in here and fight this. Like, getting this tier 2 tower up here while they get Baron is a waste of your time. It's not going to help you. And you just lose this fight because Hanabi comes in, stuns everybody up, just gets smashed. Everyone gets separated. They're right in the middle of you, all 5 together. I mean, barely did any damage to Rather, who was the initiator of the fight. And this, you're not getting anything out of this. You might think this is a trade, but this isn't a trade. A trade of what? Rather's gonna get back and clean this up, so you're not getting this tower. No, he can't go in there. It's ridiculous. And then you get pushed out, so you got a tier 2 tower for Baron. Like, why would you not teleport into that? It's hard to watch NA play. And we talked about this in the last game. Like, every team makes mistakes, gets caught out, stuff like that. But these are just consistent, happening all the time to Team Liquid against international competition at this tournament. Like, they just... you don't even have teleport advantage right now. I mean, you don't even have teleport advantage right now because of Rather. Puzzling. Again, they're just going to teleport in, and Tom's just going to save his AD carry. God, Tom. Bing. Surprised they didn't press that, actually. They might be able to get that turret down before they get back. 1-0, 1-1-0. Just irrelevant in the game. Like, you can put all the farm you want on him. He's just irrelevant in the game. Doubleless 0-2. Seconds on Cloud. I don't think they can fight for that, though. Surprised Flash Wolves doesn't have someone in the bot lane right now, though. They're missing a pretty big opportunity. It's not that you had to go like 1-3-1, but you should have had someone keeping that wave pushed. They could have met you mid. They're not going to get picked off. Yeah, but if TL engages, like... They're sticking around because of Dragon. Jiminy Christmas. Yeah, they can stop him, though. Like, 6-item Rise isn't going to help them right now. Now Hanabi's down here by himself. Like, look at that. Lissandra just go up to the and clear waves. Like, I don't... That whole idea of him just being an unstoppable split pusher is comical. Like, by the time he gets crazy powerful, the game's going to be over. And even if he does, again, it's just one person on the team. And you still need the skill to pull it off. And he's not the greatest mage player in the world. This isn't the Shy on top lane Rise. Yeah, I mean, you can see it too. Like, this is where top teams, if they're ahead like this, like Flash Wolves are right now, are not letting them just kind of meander around the map and stuff. They're pushing stuff together. They're forcing fights. They're forcing something because you have huge power spikes right now. Like, you're pretty far ahead. Like, your jungler's 6-2. I mean, your mid laner's ahead. Your top laner's better in a team fight 100% of the time. I mean, Varus is at 3 items. He's got a stopwatch. You have a Tom Kench. You should be forcing something somewhere instead of just allowing this to get like this, because it will get to a situation where you don't want to be even on items. No, they're not. They don't win any of these fights. Yeah. Hanabi comes in, see ya. Just don't win these fights. I mean, that's game. What's going on here? So Boogie's here. Betty and Tom are mid. Lissandra's right over the wall. I'm not entirely sure they know she's there, but they don't know where she is. So you have to, if you don't know where she is, you have to assume what's going on. They have a pink ward right here, so your vision's out. Like, you're going to clear some vision before Baron, I get it. But you don't know where Hanabi is. I'm assuming they don't know where he is, but they know where Ryze is, so they're going to see the teleport. But you go into this, you see him, he engages on you, you taunt. Like, you don't win this fight and you know it. So why are you fighting? Like, if Core JJ dies, he dies. Okay, maybe you can come in while they're fighting Baron and do something. But what is this? You know who's coming. Why is Double Lift here? Now the teleport's coming in. Double Lift screwed. Boogie's on him now. Hanabi's here. So there's no way for you to win this fight now. Betty stopwatched. Rather's leaving. It's over. Just over. Just terrible positioning. Terrible. But I mean, it's not surprising. That's Team Liquid. It's NA League of Legends. You can say whatever you want. You can defend them. It's fine. I mean, I get it, but I just not that good. They're just not that good, and they don't play in an environment that's going to make them a lot better. There's just so many problems there. There's so many problems there with macro, with drafting, with analysts, with everything, preparation, any of that stuff. This isn't as serious to them as they want it to be. I mean, you can make all the funny comments you want before the tournaments and stuff like that, but the results are never there. It's not like they're there sometimes, but they're never, ever, ever there. They're never there when it counts. They're just not. They're getting outplayed. They're getting out macroed. They're getting out coached. They're getting out drafted. They're getting out everything. They're just not good enough to hang with these teams, And even if they do get to the knockout stage, which they might, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, their situation, but I can't. It's going to be tough. They're most likely going to be in a playoff game, 2-8 against 2-8. I could definitely see neither of these teams winning another game, and then having to play a playoff game against each other, a play-in game essentially against each other. And there's always a Double Lift confident interview. The best team at the tournament. They're not different this time. No, they're not. I mean, at what point does that confidence it's just meaningless talk at this point in those interviews. It's just meaningless talk. I mean, yeah, I'm sure Riot likes it because it gets viewers and stuff like that. I mean, it gets people to watch and talk about it on Reddit and talk about it everywhere, and there's a lot of passionate fans. But, I understand when a passionate Team Liquid fan is upset because it's upsetting to watch this play. It's upsetting to watch them at international tournaments. I mean, domestic titles are great. They're really important, obviously. But if you don't do anything internationally with all those domestic titles, what does it actually mean at the end of the day? I mean, there's a lot of people who say, oh, they had a good season. They went to MSI. They went to Worlds, stuff like that. And, I can't really disagree with that kind of stuff either because there has to be a level of success that you are proud of because otherwise, you're just way about, what's the point? But, I mean, look at that. Look at that damage. I mean, that's not a top tier 80 carry against a... I mean, at what point does this region become equal to this region? At MSI they are because they both have to come through the play-ins, but I mean, these teams, Flash Wolves specifically, has had some Fong Vu. Uh, you know, there's not a difference between. There's not a huge difference between Team Liquid, Flash Wolves, and Fong Vu Buffalo at all. I mean, there's a giant separation between the top three teams and these teams, but this isn't a surprising win. Like, I don't think anybody's surprised about this. I mean, look at that goal differential. I mean, they just have everything. It's just a smash. And I think on any given day, a team like Flash Wolves can hang with someone like Team Liquid, because, and I get it. It's frustrating to watch this. It's extremely frustrating to watch this. But they don't seem like they're ever improving. There's no improvement. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's what the people who are frustrated about it is. There's no improvement. It's not even change for the sake of change in that sense. There's just a lot of shit talking, and this is going to be different. And we're really good. You don't know what you're talking about. But it never actually changes, and they never actually get any better when it counts. And honestly, the things that count are international tournaments. I mean, the World Championship, if you're world champ, I mean, you could have finished second domestically. It's nice to win domestic titles, sure, but if you win the World Championship, none of that stuff matters. If you barely get in through the gauntlet, the SKT style, and then win it all, I mean, you're the best team in the world. That's just how it works. If you get in as a wild card in the NFL playoffs and you win it all, then you won it all. So, I think regionally, as a fan, you gotta hope that Team Liquid doesn't. I mean, going into this, was Team Liquid the best team in NA? Probably. I mean, domestically they were, sure, but I think, by any stretch of the imagination, C9 or TSM probably would have had a better showing here. But again, maybe not. I think it's the whole entire region. I don't think there is a even near top 10 team, or not the near top 10 team, sure, but I don't think there's a top 10 team in NA. Period. They just don't take it seriously enough. There's not enough change. There's not enough execution. It's just not. It's not going to change. It's not getting any better. And I think that's the most frustrating part of it. Is it doesn't get any better. It doesn't, even if they're 2-4 and they lost to Flash Wolves here, and Flash Wolves played really well, so I don't want to take anything away from them. This is only Team Liquid choking or playing bad. Flash Wolves played great, but there's not much improvement in that sense. I mean, they 3-0'd, to get in here. That's great. But this is when the chips are down. This is when it counts. This is when you need to win games. But it's also how they're losing games, the mistakes that are made. And everyone makes mistakes, but these happen all the time. They're not, this one game they made this mistake. It's just every game this mistake is coming. The error is coming, the mispositioning is coming. And I just think they need to be realistic with themselves, and we as NA fans probably have to be realistic with ourselves that this isn't going to change anytime soon.